getting into the last round of the tournament here, we have the Renaissance versus the Viking faction. Go. For the first time, Renaissance won't have like 50 million musketeers on their side to just gun everything down. They only have one. And then Viking only has one berserker instead of like the many that they have. So now if these Jarls can make it to the Da Vinci tanks, the Da Vinci tanks like far back so that most of the fight would be done before they got here. I mean, if they kill the Da Vinci tanks, the Ice Archers do actually have this, as there's just not enough, there's too many of them for the Renaissance to take down if they don't have these Da Vinci tanks. But they very easily have this. That's a very easy Renaissance dub. Next up, Dark versus Dynasty. This dragon's actually going to turn around in order to get rid of these guys, the Shadow Walkers, and then it can turn back and start, you know, breathing, or break dance and spin around and break apart. Dynasty's lost this one too. It so has. There's nothing they can do now. Dragon's down. The Watches are going down. Monkey King can't 1v1 a Void Monarch. We'll see if they get luckier this time. The dragon breaking so badly definitely meant that they just did not win. Ah, dude, the Deathbringer is fast enough, tanky enough, and has like a dash forward that's long enough that he can just ignore Fire Breath like that. He almost dies from it, but, you know. They've done it this time. If they get lucky with this dragon and the Watches, they do definitely win this. The dragon staying facing forward this time? Didn't even attempt to turn around, but none of the fire mattered because of the lag. That's a wasted Tempest Lich volley. You need to catch these two Void Monarchs with like a full volley. I don't think they're gonna do it. Oh, dude, they're on such little HP too. That would have been so close if they caught him with like just one more Hwacha arrow. But that will be a 2-1 win for the Dark faction. Pirate versus Ancient. These ballistas are going to be an issue because they're like almost out of frame because that's how long of a range ballista has. They have a lot of work cut out for them. A lot of damage needs to be dealt. But I mean, if you need a lot of damage to be dealt, I think there's much better to call than the ballista. Maybe pikes, because I do think 3 pikes deal more damage than 1 ballista bolt. Ancient takes game 1. How about game 2? Because they definitely have more than enough units to, you know, make something happen with these ballista. These pirates, if these Minotaurs don't charge back to the cannons and take out, like, a lot of them, they're so screwed. Or, I mean, like, if the Minotaurs do charge back and take out a lot of the, cannons, then the pirates are screwed. They get to march forward. A lot of the units just went down. Might get off one more volley. It's not enough. Now there's 5 cannons in range of the 3 ballista. So it's actually really all coming down to the Minotaur. The Minotaur can just charge back, like, enough. Start taking out some of these cannons or causing them to take out some of themselves. There's almost no cannons left on the field. They also charge back there and then pull all the units back, which makes the ballista's longest range in the game stat even more impactful in a fight like this. Dude, stop disgracing that Minotaur. Stop disgracing that Minotaur's corpse. But obviously, Agent takes this in a 2-1 victory. Next up is going to be Spooky versus Medieval, and as much as I would love to have the Pumpkin Catapult match up against the Catapult, that is just unfortunately not a reality. Because the Swordcaster is unit number 6 in the Spooky faction, so they don't get that luxury. They instead have the Medieval faction has the Catapult match up against the Swordcaster. Like, this is a lot of pumpkins to deal with. And it looks like it's gonna have to be these pumpkins to take it down. Looks like they've got it. How did that not hit the knight? They take it down game 1. How about game 2? I mean, Medieval takes it down game 1. The Medieval Catapult is down already. Unlucky bounce for the Medieval faction. All the Reapers are down. God, don't buy like half a dozen pumpkins. Game 3. Most of the archers are dead, and like a huge chunk of the healers are dead too. I think they got this. The archers don't shoot nearly fast enough to take down all these units. The Pumpkin Catapult's huge to hit that last archer. That is sad. It's gonna be a 2-1 Spooky dub. Our penultimate match. Wild West versus Farmer. Yeah, just look at the field. Lassos and Gunslingers versus Lassos, Gunslingers, and some Deadeye. Harvester and Potion Seller. That's not okay. Their Farmer faction is absolutely cooked. As soon as these Potion Sellers get in enough, yeah, there it goes. Wild West wins. Alright, we're gonna try this. Our final match in the tournament is the Tribal Faction's last chance to get a victory. Unfortunately, it's against the Light Faction, but I have artificially rigged this match by putting the Chronomancers all the way back there. So it'll be whatever remains of this Tribal Faction after fighting the rest of the good faction against, I mean, it's still 11 Chronomancers. It's not gonna be easy. It's like they need to not kill the spear throwers. Man. Yeah, there's nothing left for them anymore. Alright, let's try this out. I'm pretty sure this will be like 400 spear throwers. If they can't do it with this, they can't do it with anything. Really, I'm really stretching the limits of what my computer can hit, of what the game can simulate now, at least for me. How? How does that actually work out? 370 spear throwers versus 33 light faction units. I mean, I don't care. Light wins. They had to rig it, and they still one-handedly go. If they don't win it this time, like, there's no way they don't. Hey, you know what? While we're here doing that, I'll go over the standings. As soon as I can find them. There's actually no way they don't win this. Spear thrower on top is down. Now, predictably, because I have to do all of this, the tribal faction lost the tournament at a 0-win, 11-loss record. I don't even think they took a match against any of the other factions. Actually, they did. They have 1 point. Whoever that faction is must feel real dumb. Next up in 11th is the Farmer faction. Then the Viking faction. Both Farmer and Viking having 2-9 win-loss records. Next up in 9th, Medieval with 3-8. In 8th, Renaissance at a 6-5. Then Spooky in 7th at a 6-5 as well. Then you have a 3-way tie for 4th between Wild West, Light, and Pirate, all at a 7-4 record. And I say this because they all have one tiebreaker win. Somehow. I'm not sure how. In the 3rd place is the Ancient Factions, standing at an 8-3 record. Very impressive for one of the base game factions. And like not much has changed in the Ancient faction. Just goes to show how good the Ballista is. In 2nd place, losing their lead, the Dynasty faction at a 9-2 record, which leaves the Dark faction in 1st place, also at a 9-2 record. Now let me see if I can actually go through this and see. Tribal got 1 win against the Farmer faction. Okay, their 1 point comes from the Settlers faction. Let me see who Dark lost to. They lost to Pirate? Yeah, makes sense. Dark. And they lost to Light. Yeah, that one also makes sense. They could have easily done like 10-1. So we got 2 Chronomancers transformed out of the 11 that were placed. All they need to do is hit him. There we go. And that was still close. That was like they got rid of like they only had like a quarter of their units left. Actually, let me go through these factions. Yeah. Cheap melee, anti-ranged, ranged, and siege. Tribal faction doesn't really have siege, although Bone Mage might count as siege. Wheelbarrow is the siege. Oh yeah, I forgot. That will be the end of the Ultimate Faction War. At least the first edition of this. The second edition will either be an updated rule set or include Legacy and Secret, which I'm going to run right after this. So with that being said, actually put this on that being said, hope you all enjoyed, and as always, have a good day.